What's going on, y'all? It's Lodge Locks, and today we got another Prize Picks video for you guys. It is Friday, February 23rd, and in today's video, we're going to give you guys 6 fantasy player props that I love for today's slate, this Friday night slate. It is Flex Friday, so we're going to give you guys that nice little 6-man parlay. You guys got to go right here to this little promotions page, opt in, and then once you guys put in the 6 players, there should be a little box where you can check that in. But we're going to be looking at fantasy scores today. There's some great value on the board. Love the matchups. Should be some great games in there. So, yeah, before we get into those 6 players, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe with those post notifications turned on. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I believe we're only 15 away, so it just means the world to me if you guys can help me reach that goal. Just comment something to get the algorithm going, literally anything. Just kind of help me get my channel out there to more people, new people, and just keep on going. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop right into the players that we got for today. With our first one, we're going to go to this Bogdan Bogdanovic. I don't know how to say his last name, but over his 23.5 fantasy score. Love this line right here. This should be a great game. Atlanta versus Toronto. This is the closest spread in the day, highest point total. So it should be a great game overall with a lot of buckets scored. If we look at his last 20 games, he's been pretty consistent on hitting his fantasy score. As you guys can see on the whole season, he's gone over this line 75% of the time. Last 10, 70%. Last 5, 60%. In the head-to-head matchups against Toronto, he's hit this every single time. As you guys can see, the whole season, all 3 games, he's gone well over. His line is at 23.5, and he's damn near averaging like 35.5 or something. So he's going way over, as you guys can see, 42 right there, 38, 32. So just clearing this easily, having no struggle right there. If you guys look at the Raptors defensively, 19th in giving up points, 23rd, 24th, 22nd. Just great numbers right there for him just to go out there and ball. They're pretty weak defensively against that shooting guard position. So, again, more upside for him to get value right there. Steals, just everything. So should be a great high-scoring game. A lot of value, as you guys can see. In all their games recently, this whole season, they've been just crazy. 125 to 126, close game right there. This game was a blowout, 125-104. A lot of points scored still, though, but they still blew them out by like 20. And then this game was close, 128-135. So a lot of value for just, again, a lot of buckets being going up and shots being there. Just a lot of value overall for him to hit this line. So that's my first pick of the day. Bogdan Bogdanovic over his 23.5 fantasy score. And then with the second pick of the day, we're going to be looking at this Tyus Jones at the Thunder. I know this is a tough matchup, especially them going over there with this Washington team struggling, but he's just been so consistent with the ball recently, just being a true point guard. As you guys can see in his last 10, he's gone over 70%, last 5, 100, and on the whole season, 51. That was like more towards the beginning where they didn't really like have their team established, just kind of like new to each other. But now he's been clicking personally, just finding his teammates, learning like the way they cuts and all that. So he's just been diamond it up recently. So love the value right there. In their last head-to-head matchup, as you guys can see, it was a close game, 136 to 125. It was in Washington, so they kind of kept it up. So hopefully, if they keep it up, I believe this should be easy over for him. As you guys can see, he went 10 over last time. Defensively, they're not even like crazy. They're giving around 13th most points, 113. OKC is, but they're going against that weak team. So I believe the spread's like over 13. So hopefully it's not a blowout. But even if it is a blowout, I feel like he should be able to. In the last couple matchups, even when there is blowouts, he tends to still hit his line. So though this Tyus Jones one just been super consistent, and again against that team. Get weaker against point guard position. So that's our second pick of the day. Let's see, Tyus Jones versus fantasy right here, 29.5. So that's our second pick of the day. With our third pick of the day, we're gonna be looking at this Rudy Gobert on his fantasy score, his 36.5 line level value right here. This should be a great matchup. As you guys can see, he's been super consistent recently. Last 5 games, 80% of the time. Last 10, he's just been 7 out of 10. So super great value right there. In their last head-to-head matchup, he went over, as you guys can see. This one was also a blowout. So Milwaukee's just been like kind of struggling recently, like getting their team clicking with their new coach and all that. This was last year, so this one's irrelevant. But this year, As you guys can see, this one's a blowout. I'm expecting this game to be a closer game, just kind of getting things clicking, new coach, just starting to get the ball rolling. So a lot of great value for him to go over. Right here, he's just been a dog in the paint recently, just blocking shots, doing his thing in the paint, just being a defensive threat. And as you guys can see, what I really like on this player right here is the minutes. He tends to get a lot of minutes whenever they're in close matchups, so if it should be a great game. As you guys can see right here, this was an overtime game, but 44.4. Just like normal close matchups, as you guys can see, he averages around 35 a game. This one was a crazy blowout, so he only got 26 right there. So if Milwaukee keeps this one close, I believe he should be able to hit this line easily. It's just kind of correlated. Wherever he gets over 35 minutes, it's almost a guarantee that he's going to hit this line. As you guys can see, all these ones close games right here, and just great value for him to go over. So really like this player right here. That is our third pick of the day. Go ahead and get this one in there right here. 36.5 for Rudy Gobert. And then with our fourth pick of the day, we're going to be going to the other side of the ball in this game. Should be a great game. We're going to go to the other big for them, Brook Lopez. He's just been super hot recently. I know they're on the road over there, but he tends to do pretty good on the road. Let's see, where's he at? Brook Lopez. There he is, 26.5 fantasy score. We're going to be going with the over on that one. As you guys can see, in his last 20 games, he's gone over 80% of the time. On the whole season, 67. So, 68, and their head-to-heads. The last two he's gone over in this season. This one's irrelevant. These two are basically irrelevant because they're last season. But this season in their last matchup, he got 30 fantasy score. This one was also a blowout, again, like I showed you guys on the Rudy Gobert one. But he still went over this line. A lot of minutes played, though. So that's another correlation that I love on this one. If he gets his minutes, if you guys see right here, like when these games are blowouts and he doesn't really get his minutes, only 25 minutes, 26 minutes, he doesn't really hit this line. But whenever he gets his good minutes, which he typically gets in good matchups, as you guys can see, all these close games, which I believe this game should be a close one. He averages around over 35 a game, so similar to Gobert, they're just constantly in the game, a lot of usage in the paint. So and I know they have this matchup against Minnesota is like a harder one for him. Minnesota's a great defense, as you guys can see, first, all right there. So, but I like Brook Lopez still. As you guys can see, he doesn't even need to rely on like scoring in the paint, which they have Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert in the paint. He could really spread out the ball, shoot the three. He's taking on average like 4 shots, or like 4 to 6 3-point attempts a game. So they're really going to need him to spread out the ball. I believe he should have great value just on the perimeter, getting his 3-point shots up. And he's a pretty good shooter, so they're going to have to step out on him, and then he can just get the work in the paint. And what I also like, especially this is fantasy score. If you guys know anything about fantasy score, it gives so many points for steals and blocks. And on the road this season, he's been getting in his last 5 out of 6 games. Where was it at? He was just getting, as you guys can see right here, he's gone over 2.5 steals and blocks in 5 out of his last 6 games on the road, getting around 4 a game. So each one of those is just worth a lot of points. So I believe if he gets at least 3 for us, that should be great, and it would just really help with this fantasy score. So love and value. Brook Lopez is our 4th pick. With our 5th pick of the day, we're going to go ahead and be looking at DAngelo Russell against the Spurs. They're just been so vulnerable to that point guard position. DAngelo Russell has just been stepping up recently, really getting a larger role with the way he's been playing. And before the All-Star break, he was just going crazy before trade deadline and all that. So we're looking at this fantasy score right here. His 32.5 line. DAngelo Russell, fantasy score right there. Love this matchup. Lakers been kind of off and on, so I believe San Antonio should be able to keep up. It is over there in LA, which DAngelo Russell's been playing great at. As you guys can see, last 10 games, he's gone over the 70% of the time. Whenever the games are close and he gets his minutes again, he just goes crazy. And I believe in this matchup, he should be able to thrive. As you guys can see, last game, they played against each other. It was a good game, only a 3-point game, and he got 36 fantasy score, 32 minutes that game. But as you guys can see, he's been averaging like 35 minutes on the whole season. Before the whole All-Star break and all that, he was going crazy, trade deadlines, and then the last two before the actual break, he was going crazy as well. But this game was a blowout. Just unfortunate right there. He should have got more minutes, but again, blowout situation. But I believe this game he should get at least over 35. So great value right there for him to go over with this weak Spurs defense, especially the point guard position. That's where they've been super vulnerable to. I believe this should be easy over for him. And there's a lot of injuries, as you guys can see, in game decisions. So again, more upside for him to get more minutes in this matchup. So that's our 5th pick of the day, DAngelo Russell. And then with our last pick of the day, we're going to go with Jonathan Kuminga over his 28 fantasy score. This one just got pushed. So as you guys can see, there's value on there from Prize Picks that they see on the board. 28 flat right here. Love this value. He's just been playing super good recently in this matchup. Where is it at? In this matchup against Charlotte, I believe they are a weak defensive team, as you guys can see right here. 24th in points allowed, 28th in field goal percentage, 28th in 2-point percentage, which he thrives at. He's just really an inside paint scorer, so just a slasher. They don't really have no one in there to guard him defensively. Should be a good game as well. As you guys can see, in his last 20 games, he's gone over this line 60% of the time against teams where they have weaker defenses. To his position, which he plays power forward. As you guys can see, Lakers have a pretty solid defense in the paint. He struggled right there, but against teams where like they have a weak defense, I believe like Charlotte's a similar team to this Brooklyn team, Memphis, Philly without Joel Embiid, Atlanta. I believe against Charlotte it should be another game like that where he goes crazy. And he's just been having a lot of uptick in minutes. As you guys can see, earlier in the season, he was averaging like under 30. Now it's like closer to like over 32 a game. So great value for him to go over on this line. As you guys can see in their last head-to-head, he went over this line. It was a good game, and great value for him to go over. So that's my last pick of the day, Kuminga over that line. And yeah, these are my 6 plays of the day, all fantasy scores. Great value on the board if they get anything. These guys are pretty limited on their turnovers as well, so great value for that. And yeah, if you guys want to do this for your Flex Friday deal, if you guys haven't already taken that, click this little box right there, and then you could go ahead and lock that one in and protect your play up to $20. Risking $20, I mean not risking anything without losing $20 with a payout of winning $500. So great value right there. Everyone should go ahead and take that. So again, these are my 6 of the day. Bogdan Bogdanovic over his 23.5 fantasy score. Tyus Jones over his 29.5 fantasy score. Rudy Gobert over his 36.5 fantasy score. Brook Lopez over his 26.5 fantasy score. DAngelo Russell over his 32.5 fantasy score. And then Jonathan Kuminga over his 28 flat fantasy score. So those are my 6 picks of the day. That's what I'm going to be rocking with for Flex Friday. We're going to go ahead and lock this one in right here for you guys. Boom. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today's video. Again, please drop a like and subscribe with those post notifications turned on. Drop a comment. It could be anything. Just get my algorithm flowing out there to more people. Trying to just grow my channel, get my content going. Preparing for March Madness. Going to go crazy at the tournaments live. So if you guys want to stay tuned with those videos of me giving you guys picks and the little vlogs of those videos over there at the games live, make sure those post notifications are turned on to get notified whenever those ones go out. But with that being said, that's all I got for today's video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below on these fantasy scores. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and let's see today.